say your name and then ask the question, that'd be great. Thank you. Just right there, there you go.
Hi, my name is Dr. Aswini. I met you earlier. I work at King's College London. The question to you is that to take the AI into the clinical field, in our audit, many of the people are still hesitant. There are ethical issues because who is the ultimately responsible, where the buck stops, and who is, they call is a respondent superior, means who is answerable in the court of the law. Okay. As you know, with the self-driving car, Uber self-driving car, ultimately there are 16 issues which can be held as culprit, starting from sensor to why the driver slept or why he was playing the Amazon app, or etc., etc. In the clinical issue, because every coding error is a human error, can the developer be responsible for a clinical mistake causing clinical injury?
Okay. So look, I mean,
you can take it, but I'll take it as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, so that's a brilliant question, I think a lot of the issues around ethics, quite rightly, get somewhat distracted by the kind of end point of autonomous clinical practice. But do you know what? We've got a lot of AI capability and a lot of AI assets to kind of draw on before we get to total autonomous clinical action. So at the moment this is around augmentation in terms of what we're doing in Watson. We feel very strongly that this is about us creating systems that support clinicians, that augment the capability of clinicians and provide them with the tools using AI that frankly enable them to be more effective and more human at the point of care by taking some of the drudgery and the memory work out of processing large bodies of knowledge. The emphasis that we've got is, we call it leading with science. And frankly, it's about treating AI in the same way as you would treat any other clinical intervention that you introduce, a drug or anything else. It has ethical implications, has medical legal implications, it has an evidential research implications, and it has cost impact and clinical, and we do evaluation in that way. So a lot of the work that we're doing at the moment is with scholarly publishing, with peer-reviewed journals, to start generating the evidence base, not only of the components of the stuff that we're working on, but how we introduce it into the workflow, and then ultimately what impact it will have. So to two parts of your question. So in terms of the first part, in terms of our emphasis around our approach, I think that's how we see this. In terms of the ethics, we pride ourselves in IBM in kind of leading with ethics. We've just been voted as one of the most ethical companies in the world because the work that we've done leading on AI across business specifically, generally, but across healthcare. We are very proud to have signed up to the recent ethical guidelines and work that's happening across the EU.